celebrating a life that was so well lived.
After a brief ceremony at Ellington Field, members of President Bush's family, including his son, President George W. Bush, and his service dog, Sully, who spent Sunday night next to the president's casket, all boarded a presidential 747 renamed Special Air Mission 41, landing in Washington for the last time. President Bush will lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda on Monday night through Wednesday morning. Wednesday has been declared a national day of mourning, and all current and former U.S. presidents are expected to attend a funeral service at the National Cathedral. President George H.W. Bush will be interred Thursday at his presidential library in College Station, next to his wife Barbara and daughter Robin. I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
Well, the NFL is facing some tough questions after star running back Kareem Hunt of the Kansas City Chiefs was allowed to play despite being accused of assaulting a woman last February. Listen to this.
He shoved me, he pushed me. Like, you can watch the videotapes, which I would like to see if that's possible.
Well, here's the security footage showing Hunt pushing the woman. She retaliates by punching him in the head. After they're separated, Hunt knocks one of his friends into Ottinger and then kicks her while she's down on the floor.
It was just a long night, and to be exact, it don't really matter what happened. I was in the wrong.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs released Hunt on Friday. He admitted he lied to the team when they asked him about the incident. The NFL reportedly hasn't questioned Hunt or his alleged victim, even though it opened an investigation in February. There's a viral video out. It shows a young man holding onto the hood of a car following a hit-and-run accident. Watch.
I very easily could have been killed in that whole ordeal, and he just didn't care.
Well, here's what police say happened. The Dodge Charger rear-ended a truck. When Zane Wallace tried to confront the man, he ended up on the hood of the Charger. The wild ride lasted at least a half a mile, and several Good Samaritans boxed in the Charger. So the driver was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and drunk driving. Wallace, who was in the pickup truck that got rear-ended, was not hurt. We have a new troubleshooters report today. It's a very familiar topic. A couple of families telling us they hired and paid a contractor to do some work on their homes. Families also claim they had to fire the contractor because the work wasn't getting done. Of course, we're going to hear the contractor side of the story as well. Juanita Ramon and Fred and Patty Puckett called us, claiming a contractor named Nick Lopez did them wrong. Ramon says she hired Lopez in August and has paid him nearly $8,000. This is her home. She says she initially hired Lopez just to paint the outside of it.
He was very slick, and you would kind of ask him a question, and he would gear you to another. Well, look at this. I'm telling you, this is the way it's supposed to be. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. It needs to be like this.
The Pucketts say they hired Lopez in September and estimate they have paid him close to $27,000. Their house is already paid for, but they took out a reverse mortgage to pay for the improvements.
Well, it feels like you've been raped.
Lopez told us by phone he can't really remember how much he was paid.
So I can't tell you exactly what they paid me personally because I didn't put it all on paper.
The Pucketts say these pictures show what their house looked like when they decided to fire Lopez. Ramon says she fired Lopez because the work just wasn't getting done and there was very little, if any, communication with him. But why would they both make a decision to fire you?
Because, sir, they both were talking over the internet. Matt Hoffman introduced them to the Pucketts.
The man in the red T-shirt is Matt Hoffman. He used to work with Nick Lopez.
We were supposed to be in a 60-40 partnership, and it just started getting less money, and he'd lie to her and turn things around, and it just got kind of off.
Hoffman quit working for Lopez and has been hired by Ramon and the Pucketts to finish the work Lopez started, and he's getting paid. Lopez says it feels like Hoffman went behind his back and took the job away from him. He tells a different story about him.
The Hoffmans told the Pucketts that I was not paying them, they didn't have anything to eat, yet he's got an apartment because when he met me, they were sleeping on the beach.
Neither Ramon nor the Pucketts have hired an attorney or called police, and they don't expect to get any money back from Lopez. But what they want is...
But I really want people to know who he is. I want the city to know who he is. I want the engineers to know who he is, and anyone else not to hire this man.
All right, whatever happens next, we'll let you go. We'll let you know, and whenever you need our help, just send us an email, troubleshooters@kztv10.com.